Oh my goodness. I did not have I had it on mute. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are new here, welcome to the tribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you kindly for returning. I'm in my feelings. I feel away. I have mixed emotions about the verdict from yesterday. Um, Feel free to interact with me in the chat or hit the link and join me on this panel. I really do feel away for different reasons. Um, it's different reasons that I feel away. And anyone that has ever been in McKinney or rode through McKinney, everyone has a bad experience about Collin County. Like everyone has some type of, not everyone, so let me not say everyone. But pretty much uh you'll hear people say, oh, I'm never coming back to Collin County. I'm never going to ride through McKinney. I'm never going to come through Plano, Allen, Melissa, Princeton, Van Alstyne, I could go on and on. Denton, but Denton is not Collin County, but it's still one of those areas that if you know, you know, you just don't go. Um, but I feel away for several reasons. Like I said, one of the reasons is my nephew that I talk about often, or I have been talking about him lately, um, that graduated this year. I've looked at a situation that he has been in, that he was in, and really still in right now. Um, the deal is so, okay, how do I put this? Okay, so I feel away because my nephew has been going through while he was in school this school year. Um, it kind of started last year, and then I don't know where the kids or one of the boys have been. I don't know if he's been in juvenile or jail. I'm really not sure, but it was no problems, no drama until like the last month of school. And here comes the problems, the drama. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm sick of these little young black boys. I don't want to call them young nickels, YNs, you know, because I really just don't like talking like that or using that type of language openly. But I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of every time you turn around. I can't even post music on social media without being getting my pages struck, right? But all the social media platforms will allow a bunch of fighting. It's like through my whole news feeds on all my platforms. I'm seeing nothing but black people fighting, nothing but violence, nothing but see, they're setting it up for us because everybody, all the races that they want to get rid of, you don't see the setup, right? So they want to show us as hard to get along with. We're very violent. I mean, literally, it's like I call them hyenas. I'm sorry. I call them packs of hyenas because that's what they act like. So when I read, so what my nephew's been going through, when I read comments like animals, oh, a herd of cattle, um, that's what they act like. That's exactly what they act like. I don't like seeing other races say that, but that's what you act like. No home raising. Now, I'm kind of just jumping around because I have my feelings and emotions are all over the place. I was up crying last night because, like I said, I see, I understand all, like, my nephew has been on the side of being bullied all the way up until he graduated. What, 3 weeks ago? I mean, I'm gonna go back to the Spurgrass backpack. Okay. My nephew, school started. He wanted a Spurgrass backpack. Said, okay. They are, his backpack was $100 plus. Well, He goes to school, everything's good. About a month in at school, I get a call. I'm kind of jumping all around, but I'm going to go back to the bullying situation and a student being stabbed at the school. So this boy told him, I'm going to take your backpack. He said, no, you're not going to take my backpack, which is my nephew. He's not confrontational. He's not, he ain't about all that. Like he ain't been raised like that. And a lot of them, I will say, because I don't want to stereotype all black young men. But they making it hard. They making it hard. And I try not to, because I know my nephew is not a bad kid, or shall I say a troublemaker, or he's just not like that. But so the boy told him he'll take his backpack. He was like, no, you won't take my backpack. So another student intervened in, and he goes, leave him alone. Why are y'all picking on him and you're not going to take his backpack? And so I'm thinking, like, so he calls me. Well, the principal calls me and he's like, well, we have a situation here and we have blase boom in the office, and there is threats being made against him, threats to take his backpack, threats to do this and that. Well, listen, y'all. While I'm on the phone with the principal, I hear stuff going on in the background, and I'm just holding the phone. And he was like, hold on, let me see what's going on out here. And then I hear commotion, and then I don't hear. Like, he never comes back to the phone. And so for some reason, I'm just like panicking, like, well, what's going on? He never comes back to the phone. The principal never came back to the phone. So I hung up the phone and I instantly just went to the school. So I instantly got in the car and went to the school because, of the conversation about the backpack and the threats. And then the principal, I can hear stuff in the background. He never comes back to the phone. So when I get to the school, the paramedics are there. I see the paramedics. And I'm like, what the hell? So I proceed to go into the school. Well, as I'm going into the school, I see two black boys coming out of the school. One of them, he's smiling in handcuffs. I mean, smiling with handcuffs. Then the other one, he was walking by himself. So one of them that was walking with them, but I noticed as he went out of the school, when they went out, the one that wasn't in handcuffs, he went to the left and he went over to, like, he was going to the Target parking lot or whatever. So I'm really not knowing what's going on because, like I said, the principal started telling me, but I wasn't really sure what went on with the reason that he never came back to the phone. So then while I'm in there, a Hispanic lady comes in and she's like, where's my son? Where's my son? I'm going to sue the F out of you guys, and no, out of this school. Where's my son? Where's my son? And so they was like, well, you can't see him right now. And she was like, my son's been stabbed. And that's when I realized someone had been stabbed. She was like, my son has been stabbed. You guys won't let me see him. And someone's going to pay for this. And she said, I'm going to sue the F. So she just said, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the school. I'm going to sue all you MFs. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? But I was like, what the hell is going on? So I go to the office, like the principal's office. So they was like, took me around to the principal's office. So when I get in the principal's office is when I find out everything that actually went on. So while I was on the phone with the principal, okay, so the Hispanic boy was like, y'all not going to take his backpack. Why are y'all picking on him? Whatever, whatever. So he was called into the office too, which is he was just really, trying to take up for my nephew. And I felt so bad about it, because it's like mind your own business, don't get involved with, trouble and drama. And then I felt so bad. I felt so bad for him. And so I was like, oh my God. So when they got to the office, they were all like in the office, they have chairs like out in the it's like the counselors have their desks and there's chairs, and then there's rooms across on one wall that are the principal's office. So while they were sitting in the chairs, they started arguing. So that's what I was hearing on the phone. And so one of the boys pulled out a knife and stabbed the Hispanic boy right there in the office. So that's what I was hearing that was going on. And then it had me more, terrified, because I'm thinking, like, if he had a knife when he was telling my nephew, I'm going to take your backpack, it's like he could have stabbed my nephew. That could have been my nephew that got stabbed. Because if you stab the Hispanic boy, I mean, you already had the knife when you was threatening my nephew. Unbeknownst to him, that nobody knew he had a knife. And there's another thing. Black culture, and I'm gonna say, because I know white people do it too. Caucasians do it. Youngsters, like all my cousins, everybody grew up, you had Carmex and a pocket knife. Just truth be told, you had a Carmex and a pocket knife. And it was for, yes, self-defense purposes, for anything, just, where's my phone? Just for, anything. What's coming today? So it was not a thing to like go around and start stuff, or it just was not like that. If you had a pocket knife. So in Black culture, for young boys to have a pocket knife, that's not a bad thing. It's just, if it's anyone that's on the live, that if you could just chime in Black culture, a pocket knife is just not, it's not a bad thing. It's not a thing like I'm looking for trouble or anything like that. It's something that, has went on for years and years and years and years and years. Like I said, in my family, I know for sure, from my dad to my cousins, brothers, you kept a pocket knife. And Carmex, it's like they, might clean their nails with their knife, or, you just never know. But it was never for the intent to go around and start stuff. So for Carmelo to have a knife that wasn't even what they would say was a pocket knife, because we've never got to see the knife that he had. but we know it wasn't even as big as a pocket knife. So that's one thing that where I feel away because of my nephew. You know, um, I mean, even me myself, I've been stabbed, and I've stabbed somebody. Um, I had a fight. I got stabbed because the girl was trying to get me off of her. I stabbed somebody because at that moment in time, it was a defense thing uh, of being jumped. So, uh, not myself being jumped, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. Maybe I'll do story time sometime. Um, so that's one thing about a knife and being at school and being my nephew that could have been him that was stabbed. But it was somebody that was taken up for him. Okay, so now I'm gonna fast forward about the bullying and for all my feelings and emotions. Right before 3 weeks before school was out, my nephew was assaulted. My nephew had been scared to go to school. And I'm like, I wish an MF would. I wish they would. Like, everybody not cut the same. Like, my nephew was jumped. He was jumped. He called me one morning. He said, Naming, the boys are on the bus. And when I tell you that these schools, the thing with Carmelo, what people don't realize is that they know that the lawsuits are going to be coming out of the ass to the schools because y'all, I'm just bear with me, please. My emotions. I got I got all this stuff running through my head. Um, they know. See, the school and the coaches failed those kids out there. I'm including Austin too. The coach that called out to him that said he needed them at that track meet. Guess what? Isn't he partially to blame too? Isn't he also partially to blame for creating that environment for Carmelo? I mean, wouldn't you say that the coaches that failed to bring tents for their kids, because why? Well, it's not a lot of us, so you just, we'll just do this, or just just praying it don't rain or whatever, or it's not too hot, or that coach failed Carmelo as well. The teacher that had Carmelo and them to move from where they were trying to go from the rain, he failed him as well, because you send a kids out into the rain. Well, see, then it falls back on, well, y'all's coach should have brought a tent for y'all, right? So even with Austin, like, his parents are going to sue that school. All the stuff we heard from the beginning just was all total opposite about that case. They said Carmelo was not supposed to be there. Yes, he was. It was Austin and his brother who was not supposed to be there. But they never talked about that too much. I could have defended this young man way better, because if some feelings and who and what, because there's going to be some people going to jail for dodging subpoenas. It's just something. I mean, okay, so let me go back. My nephew was assaulted, right? And the most hurting thing is he wouldn't even press charges. I couldn't press the charges because my nephew had turned 18. I could not press the charges. My nephew was scared to press the charges, and he's being bullied by youngsters that we see on social media with guns, with, I mean, military style rifles. And then my nephew didn't even want to go back to school. The last 2 weeks of school, he missed a whole week. And I'm telling him, don't let them, because they don't care about their future. So I see Carmelo in this situation. I mean, I can see my nephew, what he been through with black boys that I'm sick of. I'm sick of them. Go to the military if you want to fight or shoot or whatever you want to do. Go to the military. They'll take care of you over there. You can do all the shooting you want, take all the lives you want. I feel away because I feel sorry for Carmelo, because I see my nephew in him being a good kid, good upbringing. Really don't know nothing about the streets. I see my nephew in Carmelo. I don't tell nobody how to fight. I don't tell people how to fight their battles, and I respect everybody's feelings for situations because they're valid. Everyone's feelings are valid. They may not be to the next person, but they mean something to self. So I see Carmelo, I see my nephew. I don't know. I'm all over the place because I've seen my nephew be bullied. And to be honest, I'm like, if you got a pencil, anything to protect yourself. I used to tell my kids that when they used to walk to school. I don't want you on no phones. I don't want you speaking and talking to strangers. And that's the strangest thing, y'all. We preach to our kids about strangers. But then when your kids need help, they're going to have to may run to a stranger. So it's kind of, a stranger can be good or bad. But I saw my nephew. I saw his spirit go down. I saw him not want to go back to school. And that's hurtful. And I'm knowing the school was not protecting him. The school was not protecting my nephew. Here I am, and my husband walking an 18-year-old to the bus stop. I'm sick of these youngsters. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I go to talk to two of the boys' parents. Guess what? Apples wasn't falling far from the effing tree, okay? When my nephew and I left their house, I said, you do what you got to do to protect yourself at all costs. Whatever it is that you got to do to protect yourself, you make sure you do. And we'll worry about everything else later. Because I saw what kind of parents I was dealing with, and all the kids around there, sound like he a snitch. Sound like he a snitch. You threatening my life? I'm seeing y'all with guns, and you calling me a snitch. I'ma sing. I'ma whistle before I let you take my life. He ain't no street. You know, you want to thug it out, shoot it out. Go and find you some of them skinhead white boys who own what you own, not your own kind. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. And another thing, what people didn't know out there at that trial, they was getting people license plates in their little groups on Facebook and Instagram, talking about where people lived, whose license plates they was getting. See, that stuff that you're so caught up in what you got going on, you're not paying attention to your surroundings. You're not paying attention to your surroundings. And I'm going to share this with y'all. People are so tunnel vision, right? How many of those white people did you see out there holding a phone? Huh? Can somebody in the chat tell me how many people, white people, you saw with a cell phone in their hand that was being confrontational? Can I get somebody, anybody to say in the chat? Because I got something for you. When I say I got something for you, I'm going to enlighten you on something. How many, if you saw the footage from the lives, if it was a white person, well, see, Proud Boy now, people are, I knew who they was when I first saw them because I used to research stuff about the Proud Boys because a Proud Boy worked with someone that I knew, and he used to have a big flag on the back of his truck. So, about maybe 3 or 4, that's been about 3 or 4 years ago. And they're a mixture of race. So people don't understand Proud Boys. Y'all, I'm all over the place. So people don't understand Proud Boys. Like, oh, you a Mexican. Oh, you a Negro. Oh, you're white. Because Proud Boys, they're a mixture of races, and what they have in common is and what they have in common is the dislike for Black people, and they love whites only. It sounds crazy because it's Black people and Proud Boys, and it's Mexicans, but that one that was at the courthouse, my husband and I, we already knew who he was as soon as we saw his face. Oh, they got the leader out there. And then he's sitting here with his hand in his pocket saying, what? I don't fight fair. I don't fight fair. I don't fight fair. Get it? I don't fight fair. He didn't have no phone in his hand. None of that. You know why? I'm going to tell you, those people were out there looking at the Black people. It's all on Facebook in their groups. Oh, yeah. Oh, they were out there in their fancy, expensive cars and what? Oh, they're in their fancy cars, and where they live and their fancy cars don't add up. So they let you know they were out there doxing people on site. They was running their plates. They was Googling those addresses and pulling up those houses, apartments. It'll be their jobs and shit next. While people were out there tunnel vision one way, If you notice, you did not see a lot of white. Well, Collin County is a racist county anyway. I mean, that's been proven over and over and over and over, even when I was a little girl, like over and over and over. Right? So they were out there getting people license plates. What people didn't realize, not everybody got out their cars there. They sat in their cars because they was playing chess out there. They wasn't playing checkers. They was not playing checkers out there, baby. No, they was playing chess. And you got so many racist people that's all colored with Proud Boy. You could have had one of the agitators standing next to you, hollering with you to incite the riot, to get it started. Hold on, y'all. So that's another thing, that they were actually out there. It's in their groups that they was out there literally literally getting people license plates. Now that's concerning because they were in their little groups, their racist groups, discussing and excited about the people who license plates they were running. Oh, their homes don't match up to their cars. White people do not like for black people to drive nice cars. Even the police don't. They can't stand it. I don't know what it is about it. I really don't, but they don't. I'm so sick of these young black boys. I don't know what to do. I'm not sick of all of them, but majority of them. No, don't say that. Stop that. But it's these ones that I'm seeing be so reckless. I'm sick of them. And y'all should be too. And you should be scared if you got sons, you should be scared. And I'm going to tell you, jealousy is a dangerous thing. Jealousy and envy, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And then you think about the kids that really grew up with nothing. Those are the ones that really pump hard. And it's crazy because to me, if kids have somewhere to sleep, somebody care about you. And when my nephew and I went to these parents and I saw what I was dealing with, I told them, I said, well, I needed to talk to some grown folks at this point. Okay. I need to talk to some grown folks because I feel if your kids got somewhere to lay down, then somebody got to care about them. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we do. But you really just standing here fronting the mama. I said, Lord, she ain't never at home. The daddy is here. He don't work. He's sitting around smoking and drinking in front of the crib all day. Kids running in and out. And the mom at work, she don't even know what's going on. So after I got the feeling hurt, and I told y'all, I'm all over the place. I'm just jumping all over the place, to be honest, because of my feelings and emotions I just was like, I need to talk. I need to get this shit off. I sat in them groups last night just looking at all of the racist, And I'm gonna be honest. Now y'all know as soon as a white person say nickel, it's a problem. But black folks can say crack and redneck all day long. and it's good. It's good. But when you're sitting around calling, well, I have called Trump a nigga because to me, really a nigga ain't about color. It's just been stuck on blacks, black people. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just rattling off with feelings and emotions, and I feel sorry for uh, Carmelo's parents because they know what they've raised. They know what they've raised. They know him better than anybody, any teacher, anything. They know if he was really bad at home, out and about. They know. But I feel sorry for them because in all, he was a good kid in the eyes of other people. He was a good kid. He did what he had to do. Even got his diploma. And they don't talk about that. This boy even got his diploma. That's something. And that's why I commend my nephew so much. Because even through everything that he went through, he went on back to school and got his diploma. And that was something to me and our family. Because I know what he was going through and I couldn't make him go back to school. I couldn't. I sat here for days and just watched him sit in his room. Not even wanting to go back to school. And I said, I'm sorry, y'all, but like I said, I'm dealing with a lot of emotions and feelings because I see my nephew, and it's like if when my nephew got jumped, if he had a knife or a pencil or something in his hand, you know, and it takes heart not to be afraid to use a weapon. I mean, some of these youngsters, they're detached with feelings anyway. They'll jump on you, an adult, an old person. You see it in your news feed from everywhere on all platforms. All you see is these young black kids jumping on folks. That's all you see. And that's what I see. I'm not saying we're the only race because it's videos out there too with white people jumping on, black people and women. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Why is the black woman so, I mean, what is it about the black woman that she's treated the worst out of all races? And then they want to talk about a black woman fly mouth, a black woman want to act like a man, well, hell, majority of them got to defend themselves like men. They got to defend themselves. The black woman is so under-respected, like nobody, no races. The black woman gets treated horrible, talked about the worst, like literally. What's up with that? No respect. Black women can be called B's and H's. B's. Oh, you're this, you're that. I don't understand What is it? But these young boys will jump on anybody. They don't care who you are. But they're more likely to jump on their own color. That's what they're more likely to do. I'm sick of them. They act like hyenas. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. Because I see my nephew in the situation of Carmelo, and they jumped on my nephew at the bus stop. And guess what? When I get up there to the bus stop, this woman up there said, "Oh, that was your nephew? That they got jumped out here? Oh no, that was your nephew. I heard fighting." I said, "Being assaulted?" Oh, well, I came out and I said, "Hey, y'all stop that." And one of those boys told me, "Hey, B, if you don't want to get your A stabbed, you better back up." So they let me know somebody out there had a knife. If you said that to a woman that tried to intervene, and then she told me, you know what she told me? She said, and she threw her hands up like the police tell you, put your hands up. And she threw her hands up to me. She said, and when he said that, hey, it wasn't none of my business. My nephew, they split his, above his eye was cut. I called the police twice. They never came. They never came. They never showed up. That's normal. But people really don't believe that when people say, "I call the police," and they never showed up. It's true. It's true. They never came. That's another thing. Like I said, I'm just really rattling off. I'm just trying to get a lot of these emotions out of me. I don't know. I feel a way. I keep repeating myself. I just feel a way because I know what my nephew has been going through, and not only him, it's us too. Good morning. Let me mind my manners. Thank you, Motivate Me Daily. And good morning, Christy. I'm really not, I'm just full of emotions this morning. I'm just kind of sharing my feelings about what my nephew's been going through. And it's not been good. It's not been good. When you haven't, you don't teach your kids to be aggressive. You don't teach your kids. It's in some kids automatically. Our kids not like that. You don't teach them. Of course, we say if somebody hit you, you hit them back. Now, trust me, I wanted to go out there and fight with them my damn self. That's why adults have to be careful how we handle situations because we'll get ourselves in trouble too. And I'm not going to let no youngster trick me out of my spot with my loved ones and my grandbabies. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to outfox me. And I always say what scared me is everything that I've seen my nephew go through. I don't know if they're going to shoot our house up. I mean, God's honest truth. I don't know. Yeah, we got cameras in our windows, but they don't, like I told the police, that don't deter crime. Cameras don't stop a crime. They help solve a crime. They don't stop them. They might can help solve a crime. Because the way they be dressed up in all black and this and that, they shoes might be the only thing you may be able to identify them by. But these kids, they don't care. The value of life means nothing to a lot of these youngsters. And when I say youngsters, y'all, I'm going to put these young girls in here too. Because I sit here and watch these young girls run in the packs, being the setup girls. Being the setup girls. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to share another story with y'all. After graduation, my nephew, he wanted to go. I don't really like for him to go places, but hey, I mean, I just be so wary, right? So he goes. He wanted to go to the mall or whatever. Okay, cool. Him and his friend. He come home. He been here about 40 minutes, almost not even an hour. I ain't even gonna say he was here an hour. And I've never allowed my kids, and I say my nephew, so if you know, I've been had him in my life, our life, since he was 3. So we've raised him. My husband and I, my kids, like brought him in. He's been a part of our life. We've raised him, so he's like our son. And my kids just I haven't never been like a real people's person. Like, I just haven't. Like, my husband and I, like, he's everything I'm not. He's the calm, I'm the storm. But he can, hey, but I ain't gonna go there. So, he's just everything I'm not. So oh, y'all don't understand. So I've never been big on company. My kids staying on overnight with people. Kids staying overnight with us. It's just, it's just always been like that. Now, family is different. You grow up with your cousin can come stay all night, you can go with them. That's different. But as far as just like kids, as my kids were in school, So my nephew, he cuts hair. Anyway, so I hear a knock at the door. And so I looked and I could see it was his friend. And I was like, what he want? Like, he literally just left. So I told my nephew, hey, such and such at the door. So he goes to the door and I could hear them talking, but I wasn't really sure what was being said. So I swung the door open and I said, what's going on? What y'all got going on? And he was like, I can't go home. And I'll say this about his friend. I really had never met him. I don't know him. I'm gonna just put it like that. I don't know who is who because these kids, they play all sides. So move around from over here with all that because he already got his stuff going on, like just go on. And so when I went to the door, I swung the door and I was like, well, what y'all got going on? What's going on? What, what's up? So he was like, I can't go home. It was him and another little boy that might have been about 10. And so no, I'm gonna say he might have been about 12. About 12. Yeah, about 12, 13, something like that. And so he was like, so he said, so the boy goes, the older one, he goes, I can't go home. And I'm like, well, you can't go home. And then he was like, no. And I said, well, what's going on? And he was like, those boys are over there at that gate. And they're talking smack, whatever. So the little boy goes, "No, I'm gonna tell you what they doing. They bullying kids. That's what they doing." Now this is a little boy, and so I'm like, "Damn." So I said, "Well, where are your parents?" And he was like, "My mom, she's not at home, but she called the police." I said, "Well, if your mama done called the police," and he said she was on her way home, but she already called the police. I said, "Then you need to be going home." And then so I was like, because I don't know what's going on. My nephew, Rusty already got a lot going on right now. I said, "So go on home. Your mama done called the police. You need to be there with your mama." So I felt, so after they left, I was like, I felt so bad. I felt terrible. I said, "Lord, have mercy." I said, so I got my shoes. I said, "Well, I should at least walk with them." So I go, I put my shoes on. My husband said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm finna go walk and see if, they made it." So we walked around there. He went with me. So we walked and went back there to the back gate. And we saw a lot of police. And I was like, "Oh," so we could hear the kids talking. Well, the kid, one of the little boys, starts telling the police, "There they go. There they go right there. They said they gonna kill us." So I'm like, "Damn." So the police, y'all, sitting there staring at the group of boys. Staring at the group of boys like they scared. Now it's about 12 police, I know, at least 8, for real though. At least 8. And they sitting here staring at them. So this is how slick youngsters think they are. So the little boy said, "Oh, they gonna jump the wall. They gonna jump the wall." So like 3 of the police come through the gate and start running. The other ones, this is how clever they think they are. They just come through the gate, but it's them right there in your face. What's going on? Looking around, all them hot ass clothes on, scratching on their stomachs. Ain't nobody herbing comb. How do you not keep your kids group? Oh, and I'm looking at these kids and I'm like, y'all really jealous of my nephew. Look at y'all. He don't even match with them. Like you are so on a different level. Why y'all bothering him? Jealousy. It's gotta be. Ain't nobody herbing comb. Everybody's got on slides and dirty socks. Like, where y'all mama? Y'all big enough to know how to wash y'all self. Like, what's going on? But it's jealousy. A lot of things is jealousy. That's why I say jealousy and envy is so dangerous. It almost got my nephew backpack took, but got somebody else stabbed. Like, I can't be in I could not be in the era of, oh my God. And then I think about when Carmelo say, "Just don't touch me." And here's the thing, you can't tell nobody how to fight. I don't care what nobody say. When fear set in, anything can happen. Anything. Anything. A scary person is really a dangerous person, just like a person that's cold-hearted. A cold-hearted person is a dangerous person. A scary person will do you something just as fast. My way of thinking is And I always would tell my husband this. When do you know when to protect yourself by all costs? Right? How do I know what you got? Well, I'm trying to figure out if you got a weapon. Am I going to use my weapon? Because I'm going to wait for you to use yours. So that's the thing. That's impulse. That's impulse. That's impulse. How long do I have to wait for you to? I got a weapon, but I have allowed enough time with thinking for you to pull out what you got and do me. That's impulse. You can't tell nobody how to feel. You can't tell nobody how to fight. You can't do that. So when I had that fight, yeah, I stole off on her, whooped her up, took her down to the ground, but she got me off of her too. So in her mind, she could have been thinking, well, do she got something? Don't she? But guess what? I knew she had something in the end. So I'm not going to be waiting to be trying to figure out, am I going to be harmed by you or not? Because I don't know what you own. I don't know if you are going to be thinking like, do she got something? Let me go and do. I seen my nephew go through something, y'all. I seen him go through something. And it's not a good feeling on the inside when you know what you are. Like, I will act a fool. And then I can't even make him press charges. I can't even press charges. Because I'm not scared of you little youngsters. I'm not scared of y'all. I'm not scared of you. I'm not my nephew. I'm not him. And so I don't tell people how to fight. But at that courthouse, all those days, you got them white supremacist people that ain't out there in your face. That's on the outskirts sitting in cars, standing over here solo dolo. They got them on all corners. On all corners of they was out there really playing chess all those days. When I caught on and started reading them talking about the people license plates in the cars that they were driving don't match up to their addresses and who was in a fancy car. They out there on the parking lot doxing right there on site. On site. That's scary to me. Yeah. Hmm. So anyway, back to the youngsters that night. So the police they don't catch nobody because they really played them. The ones that they sent to go jump over the fence, they knew. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew what they was doing. The police go chase them, or we'll come through here and let you know. Good morning, Madam O. We'll go through here and let them see us. But it was all game. And the police they was act like they was scared of them youngsters. I'm sick of these youngsters. I am sick of them. And I'm sick of them because And I'm sick of social media, how you don't see nothing but black people fighting. It's you can't go anywhere. It's a fight. It's a fight. You look at them wrong, them youngsters. Oh, they what you looking at? You got a problem. And see, I'm old school. What you looking at? So this ain't no good. This ain't no good. It's no good. These youngsters don't care who they hurt or harm. And I'm saying this, y'all, because of my experience with my nephew. Welcome, you guys. Welcome into the live. If you are new here, thank you. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you as well. It's never too late to be a subscriber, okay? It's never too late. But thank you guys for joining the live. If you would be so kind to hit the like button, I would gladly appreciate it. Yeah, so I say that I'm sick of them, y'all, because of how they are representing us as our culture. I don't like it. I don't like it. And like I said, I see my nephew with Carmelo. I sympathize with his family. You know, life is something, and it will take you through some things, and it will show you some things, and it really will, and it will humble you. It will humble you. Okay. I just seen them torture really my nephew. I've seen these youngsters really. My baby did not want to go back to school, and you're right here at the finish line to graduate. And I just tried to, encourage him every day, you know, don't allow nobody to keep you from what's yours. You're right here. You're right here. And then he was only going half of a day, and so you don't have to deal with them on the bus. And he wanted to ride the bus to school. You don't have to deal with them on the bus. You don't have to deal with them after school. You don't even have to see them no more. So it's the school's job at this point to make sure that you are protected. It's the school's job to make sure nothing happens to you. Because, see, now I'm going to see you get straight to school without even having to ride the bus. We're going to bypass all of that. You ain't even riding the bus no more. That is so true. Man, that is a true statement. Wow. That's powerful. It really is. And I don't understand it. It's like I heard that this same little crew is into it with a gang. Like, why y'all ain't going to go find them? Why are y'all picking on a boy who don't bother y'all? And look, kids, and it don't. I always say I don't understand. I know a lot of stuff. That's what makes the world go around, figuring it out, not understanding, not knowing, and educating yourself. Like, you can't feed me anything because my husband and we read. Okay, we read. I don't mean to laugh about that, but we was just kind of talking the other day, like, we have really not been, like, I don't know, like my husband is so on task, like he is. Y'all, I'm not gonna tell y'all he bought another gadget in his house. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I'm so upset with these young people. Mm. You know, Madam O, I don't even know. You were in my algorithm uh, the other morning when I was up, and I clicked on your live, and it was interesting, and it caught me because a lot of stuff I don't, you know, I'll like their live, um, and I'll go on because some stuff I don't listen to. Not saying I'm not sub to different channels, but some stuff I just don't even comment on, or I don't know. But you were in my algorithm, and then I don't know. It was like I don't know. Hmm. But I'm a little different. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna take this into story time to how I got here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay on these young boys. And here's my thing. I don't like, or not let me say, I don't really judge when I try not to when people say, where are their parents? I blame the parents. That's not always true. That is not always true. It's just really not. And then it's not always about, well, the parents or the mother is working, um, or and because okay, so if the mother is working, I understand that. But a lot of majority of some of I'm gonna say some of these kids, they really don't know nothing about the streets. They wannabes, and it's I don't know. It's just like you can't these kids. Some of them are just pure rotten. Their souls and everything just lost and gone. And then you got your fit ins. And then you got the ones that mentally don't know no better. It's not always about to blame the parents. It's just not to me. That's to me. Um, because they're not always to blame. Now I'm gonna tell you this: when I went around that corner to talk with some grown people about my nephew. Now I seen what was going on. When I went around there, I actually saw mom is at work, daddy ain't working, and you got a bunch of boys over here because you got sons, and daddy ain't caring because he out here kicking it all day with his posse and friends. And so I seen what was going on. And the mother tried to, it was like, well, I been on the phone. Baby, I've been on the phone with the school since last week about your sons. Now I'm coming to talk to grown folks to see how we can settle this. And like I said, I wish they could just fight. I said, but now I will back up and say this about this boy that they all running a little crew. Had a fight with my nephew about his sister, right? They had a fight. My nephew is not a fighter, but my nephew did beat him up. And my nephew had a cast on his arm. Right? It ain't been right since then. So already when I went around there and told her, well, this has been really going on for about 2 years. actually. It started back from your daughter, so I guess it's her stepdaughter. She was like, Cookie don't, no, Sugar, that's her name. Sugar don't even live. I'm like, well, I don't know, but I just really wish they could fight it out. I said, but it's not going to end then. It's still going to be something else after that. So I know when I was young, my daddy didn't play around. Like, y'all, my daddy was a countryman and he didn't play no coward. He would always say, I didn't breed no cowards. I didn't breed no cowards. And so we knew, like, if something happened, it's all the siblings, we stick together, you know. But y'all, I know it's one thing. See, my daddy taught us and his daughters about protecting yourself, taught you how to drive. You're gonna change your tire, which is, I didn't get all of that, but my older sister did. But it's like you you don't teach your kids to be violent, you teach them about protecting themselves. We had an axe handle with duct tape on it. And that's why I say it takes, even though we had a axe handle, don't mean we wanted to hit nobody or, wanted to use it. So that's why I say it's either to be cold hearted or terrified, you know? And so, oh, and I will say this. I don't know if anybody is their first time. Um, I just had to say this because I know how I sound. I might sound like I'm always just waking up, or I got a cold, or I don't know, or I don't know why I sound like this, but I don't know. I might sound a little country, Madam O. I might sound a little country, but yeah. So um, I don't know. I just know that bullying is not good, and no one likes a bully. Even if y'all notice, even if you're not a fighter, uh, why are you laughing? Motivate me daily, huh? Anyway, um, shoot, don't do that. I was saying something. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Leave me alone. Motivate me daily. Cause why are you laughing? Huh? What did I say? Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. Sounding country. Do I sound country to you? If I can jump ship and ask you, do I sound country to you? Yes or no? I want to go to lunch. Y'all, I did not go to brunch this weekend because okay, so I went to lunch Friday. Was that Friday? Oh, what's today? I didn't go to happy hour Monday. Do I sound country? Okay, so I guess I do sound country. So, um, thank you, Motivate Me Daily, for saying I do sound country. Anyway, y'all, we will never stick together, so I don't want to hear people. Listen, these people play with people's lives, y'all, like it's nothing. Like real life. I don't sound country. Okay, thank you. I probably sound like I just woke up. I sound like this at 4 in the evening, 4 p.m. Um, We're never going to stick together. We're always going to talk down on one another. Um, we're always going to do anything to, like, why does it matter where your clothes come from? What's wrong with country? Um, Nothing. Oh, don't misunderstand me, motivate me. I don't think it's anything wrong with sounding country. Because you know what? Whenever I'm on vacation, um, people think I sound unique. I mean, I don't know. I just think I may say some stuff country. I don't just talk, you know. Anyway, that's neither here or there. I really came on here because I was really feeling away. You know, because of all of the emotions, everything that's going on. And no, I wasn't going out there. I was listen. I actually got started getting dressed. I started getting dressed. I didn't really have no work or anything to do. Um, I don't want my husband to hear me say that though, because he say it's always some work to do, even when you ain't working. There's something else you can be doing. So I was like getting dressed. I plugged up my flat iron and I was like, well, I'm throwing me a hat, tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fixing to be in the mix like that, but let me go out here, give me some footage. And then I was like, you know what? Oh, why you finna do that? Like, why would you, like, this is a real life situation. Like, I don't know. I was like, nah, I just stayed where I was at. I was like, nah, let me leave this alone. And yeah, yeah. But I was definitely getting dressed. I had plugged up the flat iron. I had put three big fat curls in the front that I could like take my fingers and finger them and throw my hat on. But and then in the end, I was kind of glad. I just watched from afar. I ain't gonna tell no story. I had three different devices going. I really did. I had three different devices going. With the TV was four. Yeah, the TV was four because I had the news going on the TV, and then I had Skull, Ratchet, and Queen, and I was going from uh Ratchet to the white man Jay. What was it, Jay something? Because he was like at a distance where, and I was being nosy on the aisle of them. I'm just be straight up honest, and it was so much going on, baby. I could not keep up. I'm telling you, and I couldn't. But anyway, yeah, I came on here. I'm glad that I did come on here because I'm feeling better and I got to get some of the stuff off. I'm not gonna say a lot of it because we're nearly all of it because I was getting distracted. Hmm. But yeah, but if you were, I think pretty much, um, I said what it was I wanted to say concerning my nephew because I could go on and on and on about that, but I think that's pretty much. Oh my goodness, did I kick me out? But I appreciate you guys for stopping through. Everyone that joined the live, that interacted in my chat. I don't sound country girl, but I can change my voice. I can sound like a man too. I can sound like a man. Can I sound like a man? I can sound like a man too. Do I? Okay, wait. Thank you guys for joining the live. I would appreciate it if you guys could hit the like button, share the live if you choose to. If you choose to. I can't say to. If you choose to. If you choose to. Okay, now I'm over here tripping. Okay. I'm finna end this live, but yes, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you. Don't forget, when I start back doing my interviews, you guys come and join me. Bring a drink with you and a friend. And a friend. I'm out. Be blessed. Thank you. And you be blessed as well and have a safe day. And maybe I'll get to meet you one day. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining the live.